The Imperial hatchery was in chaos when Sarah Kim arrived for her night shift. She could hear the commotion 3 corridors away, roars, shouts, and what sounded like expensive equipment being destroyed. "What's going on?" she asked the guard at the entrance, a massive Drakthar warrior nursing bandaged hands. "The royal clutch hatched early. For hatchlings. They won't let anyone near them." He grimaced. "They've bitten the hatchmaster, 3 handlers, and 2 members of the Imperial family. We've called for tranquilizers." Sarah frowned. "They're just babies. You're going to drug them. They're dangerous. Dragon hatchlings imprint within the first 6 hours, or they become feral. If we can't get close enough for the bonding ritual." He shrugged. "The Emperor has ordered them put down if they can't be handled by dawn." Sarah's stomach turned. "That's 4 hours away. Let me try." The guard laughed. You're a janitor, which means I'm around animals all the time. The waste processing level has rats the size of dogs. I know how to handle scared creatures." She pushed past him before he could object. The hatchery chamber was a disaster. Overturned equipment, scorch marks on the walls, and in the center, 4 small dragons huddled together in a defensive cluster. They were beautiful, scales shimmering between gold and crimson, wings folded tight against their bodies, eyes wild with fear. Around them, at a safe distance, stood a dozen Drakthar nobles and handlers, all armed with nets and sedation darts. "Everyone out," Sarah said. The hatchmaster, his elaborate robes torn and singed, turned to her. "Who are you two?" "I'm the person who's going to save those babies. But not with an audience. You're scaring them worse." "Absurd. We're their own kind. We know. You know what worked for the last 100 clutches. But these 4 are different, or they wouldn't be acting like this." Sarah kept her voice calm. "Please, just give me 30 minutes. If I fail, you could try the tranquilizers." The hatchmaster looked ready to refuse, but a tall female Drakthar in royal regalia raised a clawed hand. "Let the human try. We have nothing to lose." The chamber emptied. Sarah waited until the last footsteps faded, then sat down on the floor about 10 feet from hatchlings. She didn't look directly at them. Instead, she pulled out her lunch, a simple sandwich and some fruit. "Hey there," she said quietly, taking a bite. "I bet you're hungry. Hatching is hard work." The hatchlings watched her, tense and ready to attack. But she didn't move toward them. She just sat and ate, humming softly. 5 minutes passed. 10. One of the hatchlings, the smallest, with more gold than red in its scales, crept forward. Sarah still didn't look at it directly. She broke off a piece of meat from her sandwich and set it on the floor, then moved back slightly. The small hatchling darted forward, grabbed the food, and retreated. Its siblings chirped with interest. Sarah repeated the process, each time setting the food a little closer to herself. The hatchlings began to relax, their defensive posture easing. Soon all 4 were edging closer, drawn by food and curiosity. "That's it," Sarah murmured. "Nobody's going to hurt you. I promise." The smallest hatchling reached her first, sniffing at her hand. When she didn't grab it, it climbed in her lap. Sarah kept perfectly still as it circled once, twice, then curled up against her warmth. The other 3 watched. Then, one by one, they approached. Within minutes, all 4 hatchlings were piled at her lap and around her legs, making soft chirping sounds that might have been contentment. Sarah carefully stroked the nearest head with one finger. The hatchling leaned into the touch. The door burst open. The hatchmaster stood frozen, staring at the impossible scene. "They've imprinted," he whispered, "on a human. In 10,000 years of recorded history, dragons have never." "They were scared," Sarah said softly, not wanting to disturb the sleeping hatchlings. "They needed someone who wasn't trying to force them. Someone who just cared." The royal Drakthar stepped forward, her expression unreadable. "You understand what this means? They are royal hatchlings. Their bonds are sacred. They will require a handler, a protector, someone to guide them until they reach maturity." "I have a job already," Sarah protested. "You have a new job now." The royal stern face softened slightly. "And a new title, Dragon Keeper Sarah Kim. The first human ever to bond with our kind." She bowed, a gesture of profound respect. "The hatchlings have chosen. We honor their choice." Sarah looked down at the 4 small dragons sleeping peacefully in her lap, their scales warm and soft, their breathing even. She thought about her tiny apartment, her quiet life, her simple routine. I don't know the first thing about raising dragons, she said. The Hatchmaster approached carefully, his earlier hostility replaced by wonder. Then we will teach you. The hatchlings have spoken. They trust you. He knelt. Perhaps they understand something we had forgotten. That strength is not always loud. That gentleness has power we no longer recognize. The smallest hatchling yawned, showing tiny sharp teeth, and burrowed deeper against Sarah's side. She smiled despite herself. Okay then, I guess I'm a dragon keeper now. The 4 hatchlings chirped in their sleep, dreaming of the gentle human who had saved them simply by being kind. And the Drakthar Empire learned a lesson they would never forget. Sometimes the mightiest bonds are formed not through force or ritual, but through patience, food, and a janitor willing to sit on the floor with scared babies.